That's true. Naked Palpatine.
Oh, you pick that one. Fresh out of the clone tank, nude Palpatine is my
Well, that's the first thing I think of when you say Dark Empire Palpatine. Hello, everybody. No disrespect, in case anybody particular is watching. Hands up in the air. So I was on Twitter. Terrible place to be. Hive of scum and villainy. It was actually pretty cordial. It wasn't super bad or anything, but it just got me thinking, like, I'm sure Christopher Nelson has probably talked about this and whatnot. You know, I've watched every video. They all kind of blend in, so. Is 2023 the year to be defeated? If you are an EU fan. Should we give up on the dream of getting more expanded universe material? I don't think so. I don't think now is the time for fan fiction canon, or, you know, maybe in like another 10 to 20 years, if we're still here, still having this conversation, maybe then we, you know, get a council of fans to dictate fan canon that we can generally accept into our hearts as the official continuation of the story. But I'm not willing to give up yet. I'm not willing to give up on official continuation. And yeah, we've had stuff already. We have all the stuff that Twin Suns has done to try to promote that. We had the billboard. I mean, I didn't, but, you know, back in the day, the EU fans, we had the billboard up, you know, around Lucasfilm for like 6 months, however long it was. And it didn't do anything. Yeah, it sucks, but it doesn't mean we give up. I mean, not to be too drastic, but I mean, think about like all the world wars we have. Imagine if one defeat and people just gave up and lost. Like, you don't do that. You keep fighting, you keep going until you're absolutely sure that there's no way of winning. You know, until I hear Lucasfilm officially say, like on Twitter or something, or on the official website, we will never, ever, ever, ever continue the Star Wars expanding universe. Don't ask. It's not happening. Never again will it ever happen. Stop trying. Obviously, they'd be a little bit more political about it, but if they said essentially that, yeah, I'd give up. But they haven't said that. They've bounced around it. But again, the issues of not continuing Legends doesn't make much sense. It doesn't hold much water, and I don't see why they haven't. Let me give you 2 examples of things that have happened in the past couple years. We had a show called Star Wars Visions, which was an anime that was not canon to the Disney timeline or the expanding universe. It was its own thing. And that was a fully paid TV show with a budget and everything. What else did we get? A novel called Ronin, which had nothing to do with the Disney canon or the expanding universe canon. Now, I haven't looked into the purchases of it or anything. People may have liked the book. I don't know. It might be well received. I don't know. I don't care. But the point is, it did get sales back from it. I'm sure people bought it. I'm sure some people enjoyed it. They were willing to make something that niche, right? Because think about the average fan, right, that likes the new Disney canon. Ronin, oh, it's not canon. Why am I going to bother reading it? Yet people still bought it. So this idea that, well, it's not, you know, money-wise, it doesn't make sense for Lucasfilm to write more Legend stories because, you know, why waste the time and money, you know, because they're not going to get a return in their investment, but they're willing to make something that had nothing to do with anything? You're telling me that Ronin, which was a completely new thing that wasn't even connected to the Disney canon, is going to make more money and is more worth making than a Legends novel with a sure return in its money? A Ronin novel. Completely new, not related to anything. They were willing to allow that to be made. But a Legends novel, where Lucasfilm, I know for sure knows that there's fans of it, that they would make an investment on that, that's not worth making? That doesn't make sense. I'm not trying to sound mad or anything, I'm just passionate. I'm not mad. I just don't understand. Like, I'm generally confused. Right? At least most of the EU fans that I know, we're not asking for TV shows. We're not asking for movies. We're not asking for you to delete the Disney canon from existence. Nobody's asking that. I'm not even asking for comics. I mean, comics would be nice, but that's a bit more expensive. What is so wrong with Lucasfilm? Anybody who disagrees with this, why? What is wrong with Disney canon having all the shows on Disney Plus, all the movies in the big theaters, you know, all along making their comics, making their novels, the young adult series, etc., 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 and, you know, maybe 2 books a year set in the Legends timeline? Would that harm Lucasfilm? Would that harm Disney? Not really. It would only provide them more money. It wouldn't hurt them in the slightest. It makes no sense that a Star Wars Visions and Ronin can exist, but Legends novels cannot. Are you putting expenses into it? Sure, you're paying an author. It's still way less money than any of the TV shows that are being made right now. It just makes no logical sense as to why we shouldn't have it. So the main point of this, should we give up? 2023. Is this the year to give up on the expanding universe continuing? No. Now's not the time to be pessimistic and defeated. Now's not the time to say, we never again shall have more Legends novels. No. Now's the time to keep celebrating it, to keep loving it, to keep asking for more. It never hurts to ask. The worst they'll say is no. So continue to ask, continue to praise, continue to talk about the expanding universe. And maybe one day we will get more stories. I mean, think about this. The Star Trek novel universe, which was, unlike the EU, was never canon. It was just a separate timeline. Fans asked and asked, can we just get a conclusion to our story? And they got one. It was called Star Trek Coda. It was like a trilogy or something. They got a conclusion. Why can't we? That's all. I don't think now's the time to give up. Now's the time to continue to fight, to continue to praise the EU. Don't be hateful to the new stuff. I personally don't think it'll be helpful to the movement. But continue to sing the praises of the EU. Continue to show your love and support for it. Now's not the time to give up. There's still maybe one day we will have to give up and move on. But today, in 2023, is not the day. Keep fighting. Keep loving the EU. And perhaps one day, we will have a continuation. Till next time, guys. And the Force be with you.